The alien research station floated in the cold silence of space. Its silver walls glowed faintly as energy fields pulsed across the hall. Inside, scientists moved carefully, their long fingers pressing glowing panels and scanning strange objects. From distant worlds, among them was a young alien girl named Lyra. Curious and restless, she was not like the older ones who followed rules with cold discipline. Her eyes always searched for secrets, for mysteries, for anything forbidden. On this day, something unusual had arrived in the station. A sealed black container, thick and heavy, marked with strange human symbols. The guards whispered that it had been found near a battlefield wreck. No one could read the language, but all could feel the danger. The container was placed in the lab under heavy locks. Warnings glowed in alien script. Do not touch. Do not open. Lyra could not resist. She had watched the container for days. Her mind burned with questions. What did humans hide inside? Why would they send such a thing into space? The scientists only stared at it with fear, never daring to open it, but Lyra was different. She wanted to know. That night, when the station lights dimmed and most aliens rested, Lyra moved silently through the halls. Her feet pressed against the smooth metal floor. Her body shivered with excitement and fear. She reached the lab, her hands trembling as she pressed the lock code she had secretly learned. The door slid open with a hiss. The container sat in the center of the room, black, silent, waiting. Lyra stepped closer, her breath heavy. She pressed a hand to the cold surface. It felt alive, humming softly. Her heart raced as her fingers found a small latch. One click, and the seal released with a sharp hiss. Inside was a small vial. The liquid inside glowed faintly blue, swirling like trapped lightning. Lyra gasped, her eyes wide. It looked like nothing she had ever seen. Not alien medicine, not common fuel, not even forbidden toxins. Something more, something powerful. The vial had a faint symbol on it, 2 letters. HS. Lyra tilted her head, whispering, "What is this?" Her throat was dry, her mind dizzy. She thought it might be human energy drink. After all, soldiers often carried stimulants. She raised it to her lips, her curiosity stronger than her fear. The liquid touched her tongue, cool and sharp. She swallowed, the taste bitter, metallic, burning down her throat. At once, her body reacted. Her chest tightened, her veins pulsed like fire. Her vision blurred, and then sharpened until every detail glowed. The hum of the machines became loud, almost painful. Her muscles trembled. Energy surging inside her like a storm. She gasped and dropped the empty vial. Glass shattering across the floor. Her hands glowed faintly, her skin shining with strange light. Her breath came heavy and fast. She tried to call out, but no sound left her throat. Her heart pounded so hard she thought it might break her chest. Pain and pleasure mixed in a strange rush. Her legs shook, and she fell to her knees. The alarms screamed suddenly, red lights flashing across the lab. The lock had detected the vial opening. Doors slid shut. Guards rushed toward the lab. Lyra's body trembled as she struggled to stand. Her mind screamed in panic, yet her body felt stronger than ever. She pressed her hands against the floor, and the metal dented under her touch. Her eyes widened in horror. What had she done? What had she swallowed? Her skin still glowed, her breath steaming in the cold air. Footsteps thundered outside as the door locks cracked under security override. She tried to hide, but her body shook. Too violently, the door slid open with a crash. Guards flooded in with weapons raised. They froze when they saw her glowing figure. Their eyes filled with fear. Lyra lifted her head slowly, her gaze sharper, her presence stronger. Something inside her whispered, a voice not her own. A voice of command, of hunger, of war. Her heart thudded like a war drum. The guards shouted for her to stay down, but Lyra could barely hear them. The sound of her own blood was too loud. She tried to speak, but her voice came out strange, deeper, sharper. I didn't mean to drink it, she whispered. One guard stepped closer, his hands shaking. Stay still, do not move, he ordered. But Lyra's body moved on its own. She stumbled forward, her touch brushing against the wall. The metal wall cracked under her fingers. The guards gasped in shock. Her body burned with impossible strength. Her mind fought to stay in control, but the serum raced through her veins like wildfire. Alarms echoed, lights flashed, soldiers shouted, and in the center of the chaos stood Lyra, an alien girl who had just swallowed humanity's darkest secret. A weapon meant for war, for soldiers, for destruction. And now it lived inside her, changing her, claiming her. The guards hesitated. Fear in their eyes, none dared to fire, for they knew in that moment Lyra was no longer the same. Lyra was carried into the medbay, her body still glowing faintly. The guards held their weapons ready, but none dared to touch her. Her eyes were half closed, her breathing heavy, her skin hot with strange energy. The older scientists rushed in, scanning her trembling body with glowing tools. They whispered in panic, their voices sharp and fearful. "This is human science, not ours," one said. "This is forbidden. This is war inside her," another whispered. Lyra opened her eyes slowly. The world looked different. Sharper, louder, alive, every breath she heard, every heartbeat she felt. Even the vibration of the floor beneath her feet, her body no longer felt weak and ordinary. Instead, it was a storm barely held inside her skin. She tried to sit up, but the metal bed groaned under her weight. Her hands gripped the frame, and it bent like soft clay. Gasps filled the room, the scientist stepping back in horror. "Stay down," a guard ordered, his voice shaking, but Lyra could not stop her movements. Her muscles burned to act. Her blood demanded release. She clenched her fists, trying to hold the power inside, but a wave of heat shot through her body and the floor cracked beneath her feet. Everyone froze, silence heavy. Lyra looked at her own hands, glowing faintly blue, trembling. I don't understand," she whispered, her voice carrying like thunder through the room. The head scientist spoke, his voice grave and fearful. "She has consumed a human serum, a soldier's poison. It rewrites the body. It awakens aggression. It breeds desire and strength beyond control." The guards exchanged worried glances. One muttered, "She is not herself anymore. She is a weapon now." Lyra's heart raced at the word, weapon. She did not want to be a weapon, but her body felt like one, powerful and dangerous inside. Something whispered, something dark, something human. Hours passed as they kept her under watch. Lyra tried to stay calm, but her senses would not rest. Every sound stabbed into her ears. Every light cut into her eyes. Every smell filled her lungs too sharply. She felt hunger, not for food, but for movement, for fight, for something wild. The serum twisted her veins, rewriting what she was. Her mind screamed to resist, but her body wanted more. She pressed her hands together, feeling the strange strength vibrating inside her nails. Cut into steel like it was nothing. Fear spread among the scientists who watched. "She cannot be allowed to leave. She will destroy everything," one whispered, but not all were afraid. A younger scientist stared at her with fascination instead of fear. "This is what humans made," he whispered. "This is their hidden weapon, and now it lives in her. She could change the balance of power." The others silenced him quickly, but Lyra had heard, "change the balance of power." The words echoed in her head. She did not want to be a weapon for anyone. Yet the serum inside her pulsed each time she resisted, as if it wanted to break her will. The next day, they tested her strength. They placed heavy machines before her, expecting failure, but Lyra lifted them with one hand. They asked her to run across the chamber. Her legs moved so fast, the wind howled behind her. They measured her strikes against a steel wall. One punch cracked it like glass. Gasps filled the hall, guards stepping back again. Her own body frightened her more than any enemy could. Each test showed her changing more and more, and she felt something inside growing hungrier each time. That night, she could not sleep. She lay in the med bay, staring at the ceiling. The whispers inside her grew louder. Voices not her own. Fight, they said. Take, they urged. Break, they commanded. She covered her ears, but the voices lived inside her blood. Tears slipped down her glowing cheeks. She did not want to lose herself. She did not want to become human war. The guards outside whispered to each other. Some wanted to lock her away forever. Some wanted to hand her over to the humans. And a few wanted to study her, to make more like her. Each choice was a chain around her. Lyra listened in silence. Her heart heavy. For the first time, she felt alone, not alien enough, not human enough. Something in between. And the serum did not let her forget. Each heartbeat was a reminder. Each breath a command. In the days that followed, her powers only grew. She broke restraints without meaning to. She sensed thoughts in others, their fear, their envy, their curiosity. She could smell anger, taste lies, hear secrets in their breathing. The scientists no longer saw her as just a girl. They saw her as a weapon they could not control. But Lyra still saw herself as Lyra, and she held on to that name with all her strength. For she knew if she forgot it, the serum would win. Then, one moment changed everything. During another test, Lyra lost control. The machine monitoring her cracked apart as she screamed. Waves of force exploded from her body, knocking everyone off their feet. Guards fell, walls shook, alarms screamed once again. Lyra stood in the center, her chest glowing, her body trembling with raw power, and she realized the truth. This was only the beginning. The serum was not done with her. It had only just begun to wake. Asterisk far away from the alien station, on the dark side of Earth, an old military base stood in silence. It was hidden deep underground, its walls thick with steel and secrets. Inside, human generals sat around a table, their faces cold and serious. On the screen before them flashed a warning. One of their lost containers had been opened. The serum, their forbidden creation, was no longer safe. The oldest general leaned forward, his voice sharp like a blade. "We buried this project for a reason," he said. "No soldier could control it. It turned men into beasts, hungry for power, lost in desire for war." Another general clenched his fists. "But now it is out there, and not in human hands," he growled. "They will see us as monsters if they learn the truth." The room went quiet, heavy with unspoken fear. For years, humans had denied that such a project even existed. They told the world they were honorable, disciplined, noble in war, but the serum was their shame, their dark mirror. It was designed to make perfect soldiers, stronger, faster, more aggressive, unstoppable. Yet every human who took it lost themselves. Their bodies lived, but their minds burned away in madness. The project was shut down, the vials destroyed, or so they thought. But one had slipped through the cracks. One vial lost during transport after a failed mission. And now that single vial had awakened inside an alien girl. Not human, not bound by human weakness, and no one knew what she would become. Back on the alien station, Lyra sat alone in her chamber. She stared at her hands, still glowing faintly. In the dark, her thoughts twisted like tangled wires. She wanted peace, but her body wanted chaos. She wanted control, but her veins wanted battle. Her people treated her with fear. some with anger, some with cold silence. She heard their whispers through the walls. Human weapon. They called her dangerous mistake. They muttered, each word cut into her heart. She pressed her forehead against the cold metal wall. "I didn't ask for this," she whispered. Her voice broke, trembling. The serum inside pulsed. As if laughing at her weakness, she slammed her fist into the wall, and it cracked apart. The sound echoed like thunder through the station halls elsewhere. The alien leaders gathered in secret. They spoke of Lyra with worry and fury. "She is changing too fast. Her power is beyond us," one leader said. "She could destroy this station with one breath." Another warned. Some argued to exile her into deep space. Others argued to hand her over to the humans. But one elder shook his head, his eyes dark. "No. If we give her to humans, they will use her, they will make more, and they will come." For us all, Lyra did not know of their secret meeting, but deep in her heart, she felt it. She knew they were deciding her fate without her. She knew she was no longer seen as a girl. She was seen as a problem, a threat, a curse. Her fists clenched, her breath shaking, and the whispers inside her grew louder. Voices that were not hers. "Humans made me," the voices said. "Humans own me," they hissed. Lyra shook her head violently. "No, I am not theirs. I am not," she whispered. But far above the alien world, human ships prepared for launch. Their mission was clear. Recover the serum. Recover the weapon. Recover the girl. The commander of the fleet stood tall, his eyes cold. "If the aliens have her, they will fear us," he said. "If we take her back, she will be the first of a new army." Soldiers saluted with grim silence. They did not know what awaited them, but they trusted their orders. Meanwhile, Lyra's strength grew each day. Her senses sharpened beyond reason. She heard voices from across the station. She felt energy pulsing in the engines. She smelled fear on the guards outside her chamber. And in her dreams, she saw things she did not understand. Human cities burning, soldiers screaming. Experiments in cold, dark labs, visions of the past locked inside the serum itself. She woke each time drenched in sweat, gasping, her chest glowing. The serum was showing her its history. It was not just inside her body, it was inside her mind. Lyra began to realize the truth. The serum was not an accident. It carried memory, commands, instincts from humans who made it. Every whisper inside her blood came from them. Every vision was their shadow. She was not only changing into something stronger. She was becoming the echo of human soldiers long dead. Fear settled deep in her chest. If she lost control completely, would she still be Lyra? Or would she become something else, something human, something terrible? She sat on the floor, trembling. Tears slid down her face, glowing like liquid light. She whispered again and again, "I am Lyra. I am Lyra. I am Lyra," trying to drown out the voices of war. But outside her chamber, events were already moving. The humans were coming. The aliens were arguing. And Lyra was trapped between two worlds. Neither side saw her as a girl anymore. One side saw a weapon to fear. The other side saw a weapon to claim, and deep inside her veins, the serum whispered its secret again, a cold, cruel promise. "You are ours." The alien station had grown. Tense, every hallway echoed with whispers about Lyra. Every glance toward her chamber was filled with fear. Guards stood day and night outside her door, but none wished to be near her for long. Even the air around her felt heavy, charged, dangerous. It was as if the station itself knew she was no longer the same. Lyra tried to keep calm. She sat in her chamber, breathing slowly, counting heartbeats, but each heartbeat was louder than before. Each breath carried power that shook her chest. Her hands glowed faintly even when she tried to hide them under cloth, and her eyes, once gentle, now flickered. With sharp light, when she looked into the mirror, she saw someone else staring back. Not the curious girl she once was, but something sharper, stronger, stranger. The scientists tested her again. They placed heavy stones before her. She lifted them like feathers. They handed her weapons of war. She bent them in her hands. The elders watched in silence, their faces grim. She did not want to perform, but her body reacted before her mind could refuse. The serum pushed her to show power, to break, to dominate, and when she resisted, the voices inside her screamed. Do not hide, do not hold back, unleash, Lyra. Clenched her fists. I will not be your weapon, she whispered to herself, but the serum laughed inside her veins. It pulsed harder, rushing like fire. Her vision blurred, her skin burned. And suddenly she lashed out, striking the wall. The explosion shook the entire chamber, cracks spreading across the steel. The guards rushed forward, weapons ready. Lyra gasped, staring at her hands. She had not meant to strike. The serum had moved her body without her will. The scientists whispered in panic. She is losing control, one said. Every day the human poison grows inside her, another muttered. The elders argued again. Some demanding her exile, some demanding her destruction. But none could approach her without fear of death, for Lyra was stronger now than all of them. Combined alone in her chamber, Lyra pressed her forehead against the cold wall. Her body shook with hunger she did not understand. Not hunger for food, not thirst for water, but hunger for release, for fight, for something violent. Her veins burned like molten fire. Her heart roared like a storm. She whispered her name again and again. I am Lyra, I am Lyra. But the whispers inside only grew louder. You are ours. You are human war. You are not Lyra anymore. That night, the dreams returned. She saw human soldiers screaming, their eyes glowing blue, their hands tearing through steel. She saw them lose themselves, turning against their own. She saw cities burning, laboratories filled with cries. She felt their rage, their desire, their madness, and she woke with a scream. Her chamber walls cracked from the force of her cry. The guards outside stumbled, covering their ears. Lyra clutched her chest, gasping. Her body shook violently, her veins lit with blue fire. She fell to her knees, whispering, Please, stop. I am not one of you. But the serum did not stop. It wanted control, and with each passing day, it took more. Lyra could no longer hold a cup without shattering it. She could not walk without denting the floor. Her friends no longer visited. Her people no longer trusted her. She was alone, feared, and watched, a prisoner of her own body. Then came the breaking point during another test. The scientists asked her to push against a steel door. They wanted to measure her limit. But when she touched it, her body exploded with force. The door ripped from its frame and slammed into the wall like paper. The room shook as alarms screamed. Lyra stumbled back, horrified, but her body did not stop. She smashed another wall. Then another, her arms moving faster than thought. The serum had taken over. Her screams mixed with a roar of destruction. Guards stormed the chamber. They aimed weapons at her, shouting for her to stop, but Lyra could barely hear them. The voices in her blood were louder. Destroy, they chanted. Break. They commanded. She raised her glowing hands, her body trembling. The guards pulled triggers. Beams of light shot toward her, but her skin burned brighter, and the blasts bounced off like sparks on stone. Fear filled every face. She was unstoppable, and she knew it. Finally, with a desperate scream, she slammed her fists into the floor. The entire chamber collapsed inward, smoke and fire spreading. When the dust settled, Lyra stood in the center, gasping, her body glowing like a star. Around her lay the broken walls. Shattered machines and fallen guards. Some groaned in pain. Some lay silent. Lyra stared at her hands, horrified, her tears glowed as they fell. She had not wanted this, but she could not stop it. The elders arrived. Staring in shock at the destruction, one whispered, "She cannot stay here. She will kill us all," another muttered. "She belongs to the humans. Give her back." Lyra heard them, her chest tightening. Belongs, weapon, monster, each word stabbed her heart. She cried out, her voice breaking the silence. "I am not yours, I am not theirs, I am still me." But her body trembled, her veins burned, and deep inside. The serum whispered again, cold, sharp, endless, "You are ours." Asterisk, the alien station drifted in silence, but the silence was about to break. High above the alien world, human ships appeared, black and sharp against the stars. They moved like hunters in the dark, engines silent, weapons armed. The humans had come to claim what was theirs. Not the broken vial, not the lost serum, but the girl who had consumed it. Inside the lead ship stood Commander Hale, tall and cold. His eyes burned with determination as he studied the hologram of the alien station. "This is where she is," he said, his voice steady. "The aliens will not give her up. They fear her. But they do not understand her value." Around him, soldiers in dark armor stood ready. Each one trained for war, each one carrying weapons designed to kill quickly. Yet even they shifted nervously, for they all knew what the serum was, and they all knew what it did to soldiers long ago. One soldier whispered, "Sir, if she has taken it, is she even alive?" The commander's cold eyes narrowed. "She is." "Alive," he said firmly, "but she is not theirs. She belongs to us. She belongs to humanity." His words carried a heavy silence. The soldiers saluted, though their hearts were uneasy, for they were not sure if they were coming to rescue her or to capture her. Back on the station, alarms echoed as alien sensors detected the human fleet. The elders gathered quickly. Their faces pale. "They are here." One whispered, "They want her back." Another growled. Arguments broke out. Some demanding battle, some demanding surrender. But all knew the truth. Humans did not travel this far for peace. They had come. For the girl, in her chamber, Lyra felt it before anyone spoke. Her veins pulsed with sudden heat, her senses sharp as knives. She closed her eyes and saw visions, dark ships cutting through the stars. Soldiers loading weapons, and at the center, a man with eyes like stone. She gasped, clutching her chest. "They are coming for me," she whispered. "The guards outside." Her chamber glanced at each other nervously, even without words. They knew she was right. When the alarms announced human ships, she was already on her feet. Her body trembled, not from fear, but from the pull of the serum inside her. The whispers in her blood grew louder. "Your makers are here," they hissed. "They have come for you." Lyra pressed her hands over her ears, shaking her head. "I am not theirs," she muttered. "I am not." But her body pulsed harder, as if answering to human presence. As if the serum recognized its creators. Her skin glowed brighter, her breath sharper, her muscles tense. The humans were close. And the serum inside her wanted to return. The Alien Council made their decision quickly. They would not surrender her. To hand her over meant giving humans back their weapon. And no alien leader could allow that. Instead, they prepared defenses. Activating shields and charging cannons, the station bristled with power. Ready for war, but deep down, fear gnawed at them, for they had seen what Lyra alone could do. And now an entire human fleet was outside. On the human ship, Commander Hale sent his message. His voice filled the alien station through hologram. "This is not a request," he said coldly. "You are holding human property. Return the girl to us, and you may live in peace." The elders hissed in anger, their eyes blazing. "She is not yours. She is not property. She is one of us," they shouted. But the commander only smiled thinly. "She drank what we made. She carries our creation inside her. She belongs to us." Lyra heard every word, her heart pounding. Belongs, property, weapon. The words echoed like knives in her chest. She stood in the center of her chamber, trembling. Tears slid down her glowing cheeks. "I am not yours," she whispered, her voice breaking. But the serum inside her pulsed harder, almost as if it agreed with the humans, almost as if it was calling them closer. The human fleet began to move. Dropships launched, dark shapes cutting through the void toward the alien station. The aliens fired warning shots, beams of light flashing across space, but the humans pressed on, fearless. Their mission was too important. They would take her no matter the cost. Inside the station, chaos spread. Soldiers rushed to battle positions, alarms blared, lights flashed, the ground trembled as defenses came online. And at the heart of it all was Lyra. She stood frozen. Caught between two worlds, her own people feared her. The humans claimed her, and inside her veins, the serum screamed louder than ever. "Go to them, fight for them. You are theirs." Lyra fell to her knees, gripping her head. "No, I am me. I am Lyra." She whispered desperately, but her voice was drowned out by the roar inside her. Her body shook violently, her power rising without command. The chamber cracked, the walls glowed with her energy. The guards stumbled back in fear. They saw her glowing brighter than ever. Her scream tore through the station like thunder, and in that scream was anger, fear, and something else. Something human. At that moment, the human dropships pierced the station hall. Explosions ripped through the corridors, smoke and fire spreading. Human soldiers stormed in, their weapons glowing, their voices sharp. "In the name of humanity, surrender." "The girl," they shouted. The aliens fought back with fury, blades and energy beams clashing in the halls. The station became a battlefield, chaos everywhere, and at the center of it all, Lyra rose to her feet, glowing like a star in the storm. Both sides wanted her. Both sides feared her, and she knew the war was no longer about humans versus aliens. It was about her fate, her choice, her identity. But her body trembled, her veins burned, and the serum whispered again with cruel certainty. "You cannot escape us." Asterisk smoke filled the alien station. Explosions shook the walls as humans and aliens clashed in the narrow halls. Energy blasts lit the darkness. Sparks rained from broken wires. Screams echoed in every corner. The humans pushed forward with discipline, their armor dark, their weapons glowing. The aliens fought back with fury, their blades sharp, their strength desperate. And at the heart of the chaos stood Lyra, glowing brighter than both armies. She had not chosen this battle. She had not chosen to drink the vial, yet now the war was about her. Every soldier, every leader, every weapon pointed at her fate. She heard the humans shouting, "Take her alive." She heard the aliens shouting, "Protect her," and others shouting, "Kill her before they take her." Every word stabbed into her chest. Every choice pulled her in two. Lyra's body shook violently. The serum inside her veins burned, hotter than ever. It wanted war. It wanted to fight. It wanted to decide for her. But Lyra clenched her fists, gasping. "No, this is my choice, not yours," she whispered. Her tears glowed like molten fire, sliding down her cheeks. But the voices inside her laughed. "You are ours. You cannot resist. You will choose what we command." A squad of human soldiers cornered her first. Their leader raised his weapon, but did not fire. "Girl, listen," he shouted over the chaos. "You are one of us. You carry human power. Come with us and you will live. Come with us, and you will belong. His words struck deep. Belong, for so long she had been feared, hated, cast aside. Now humans offered her belonging, but she saw their eyes, cold, sharp, calculating. It was not belonging they offered, it was ownership, before she could answer. Alien warriors burst in. Their spears glowed, their eyes blazing. She is ours. She is our child. You will not take her, they cried. But Lyra felt their fear too. She had heard their whispers in the council chambers. They did not want her. As one of them, they wanted her as a shield, or a threat, or a corpse. They wanted to use her as much as the humans did. Lyra screamed, the sound cutting through both sides. Her power burst outward, knocking soldiers from their feet. Weapons clattered, walls shook, smoke and dust filled the chamber. She stood alone in the center. Her body trembling, her glow brighter than the fire around her. "Stop," she cried. Her voice shaking the walls. "Stop fighting for me. I am not yours, for a moment." Both sides froze. Humans and aliens stared at her. She was no longer just a girl. She was a storm in flesh. A weapon neither side could claim, the commander's. Voice came through the human comes, calm and sharp. "Do not kill her. Hold fire. She must live. She must return to us." The alien elder's voice echoed through the station. Desperate and cold, "She cannot leave. She must not be theirs. End her if you must. But do not let her go." Lyra's heart shattered. Neither side cared who she was. To humans, she was property. To aliens, she was danger. To herself, she was Lyra, but even her own name trembled inside her mind. The serum pulsed harder, feeding on her anger, her sadness, her loneliness. "Choose us," it whispered. "Choose war. Choose power. Choose blood." Lyra dropped to her knees, her hands gripping her head. Visions crashed through her mind. Human soldiers tearing cities apart, alien warriors falling in flames. Herself standing above mountains of ash, she screamed. The chamber split open as raw energy burst from her body. The blast tore walls apart, throwing soldiers from both sides into the air. When the dust cleared, she stood alone again, her eyes burning with blue fire. The soldiers, human and alien alike, raised their weapons, but none dared step closer. They saw the storm in her eyes, the rage in her trembling body, and for the first time, fear united them, not against each other, but against her. Lyra lifted her glowing hands, her voice steady, but broken. "You want me to choose, but you do not offer freedom," she said. "You offer chains. You offer war. You offer death." Her tears glowed, her voice shook. "I will not choose you. I will not choose either of you. I will choose myself," the humans shouted, calling her a traitor, calling her theirs. The aliens shouted, calling her a danger, calling her cursed. But Lyra's voice cut through all of them. "I am not a weapon. I am not your soldier. I am not your monster. I am Lyra." Her glow exploded into blinding light. The walls cracked, weapons shattered, soldiers fell back, covering their eyes. For one moment, the battlefield froze in silence, and in that silence stood Lyra. No longer a child, no longer helpless, but something greater, something new. Not human, not alien, but something born of both. Yet, even as she declared herself free, the serum whispered again, cold, sharp, endless. "You cannot escape us. You may call yourself Lyra, but we live inside you, and one day you will break." Lyra clenched her fists, her tears falling like fire. She stood tall, her body trembling, but her voice unshaken. "Then I will fight you too," she whispered, "for I will never stop being me." The alien station burned. Flames spread across the halls as smoke poured through broken vents. Bodies of humans and aliens lay scattered, some groaning, some. Still, the battle had torn the station apart. But the war was not over. For in the center of the chaos stood Lyra, glowing brighter than fire, brighter than stars. Her declaration still echoed in the minds of all who heard it. "I will not be yours. I will be me," she had said. Yet her body trembled. Her veins still pulsed with the human serum. Her power was uncontrollable. Her breath came sharp. Her skin burned with light. She stood between two armies that had both fallen silent, each side afraid, each side waiting, not sure whether to strike her or to beg her. Commander Hale stepped forward. His armor scratched from battle, his eyes cold as steel. "You are powerful, girl," he said, his voice steady. "But power without purpose is nothing. Come with us, and you will have purpose. You will be unstoppable. You will be the future of humanity." His words cut through the smoke. They were not a request. They were an order. Behind him, human soldiers raised their weapons again, ready to take her by force. The alien elder stepped forward too. Leaning on his staff, his voice heavy with anger, "She will not leave with you," he hissed. "She is our child, not yours. If she cannot be controlled, then she must be ended for the safety of all." His words dripped with fear, and the alien soldiers raised their blades. Their eyes filled with rage and dread. Lyra's heart pounded. Both sides demanded her. Both sides prepared to fight again. Her head rang with their voices, human orders, alien threats, and the whispers of the serum inside. The serum whispered loudest, "Destroy them, destroy both. You are stronger than all of them. End this war and take your throne." Lyra shook her head, screaming, "I will not be your weapon," but her body trembled, power leaking from her. Every breath, the floor cracked beneath her, lights shattered above her. Air vibrated like thunder. Her tears glowed as they fell, hissing as they struck the metal floor. Both armies stepped back in fear, for she looked less like a girl now and more like a star ready to explode. Then the humans made their move. The commander shouted an order, and energy nets fired toward her. Glowing chains meant to bind her. They wrapped around her body, sizzling against her skin. Lyra gasped, falling to one knee. Her body shook violently as the serum inside fought the restraint. The humans cheered, thinking they had won. But the glow in her chest flared brighter. With a scream, the chains melted away like ice in fire, and the shockwave threw the humans across the hall. The aliens seized their chance. Charging forward with their blades, but Lyra raised her hands, a wall of light blasting outward. The warriors slammed into it, their weapons shattering, their bodies hurled back. She stood alone again. In the middle of wreckage, humans groaning, aliens crying, smoke swirling like ghosts. Her body trembled. Her power nearly uncontrollable. She had not chosen this war, but now the war had chosen her. And in this moment, she realized the truth. No matter where she ran, no matter what she said, she could not escape. The humans would never stop hunting her. The aliens would never stop fearing her. The serum would never stop whispering inside. Her choice was not peace, not surrender, not even freedom. Her choice was survival, and survival meant fighting. She raised her glowing fists, her eyes burning like suns. Her voice carried across the broken station. "If you come for me, I will fight. If you chase me, I will resist. If you call me a weapon, then I will show you I am more than that." Both sides stared, shaken. They saw not a girl, not a child, but something beyond. A bridge between alien and human, a storm given flesh, and for the first time, both sides hesitated. Neither dared step closer, but inside her, the serum laughed. "You will fight. Yes, you will fight forever. You cannot run, you cannot hide. One day you will break, and when you do, we will rise." Lyra clenched her fists tighter, her voice shaking. "Then I will fight you too," she whispered. Her tears glowed like fire. "I will fight everyone, even myself. But I will never stop being me. The station shook again, explosions tearing through its core. The battle outside had damaged it beyond repair. The walls cracked. The engines screamed, the floors tilted, alarms howled across every corridor. The entire station was dying. Humans scrambled for their ships, aliens rushed for their escape pods, but Lyra stood still. Staring into the storm of smoke and fire, her body glowed brighter than ever, her figure almost lost in the light. The commander's voice echoed one. "Last time, this is not over, girl. We will return for you." The alien elder's voice hissed too. "You are not one of us. You are cursed. You will bring ruin wherever you go." Lyra closed her eyes, her fists trembling. Their words hurt, their threats cut deep. But she whispered only one thing. "I am Lyra." And then the station split apart in a storm of fire and silence. The fate of humans, aliens, and Lyra herself lost in the burning void. But one truth remained: the war had only just begun.